both former Sunderland players. They have been relegated to League One. They won 6 games this year out of a possible 44. Their wage bill is massive. It was 140 million sterling last April. They have the 13th 1-3 highest net debt in Europe. Ellis Short tried to sell the club last year, but everything fell through, and now they're headed down to League One. And between the debt and the wage bill and an owner who wants to get the hell out of there, it's a complete mess. How has this happened?
And added to that, you say 6 wins, Joel. 2 home wins. Was it 2 last year, I think, as well in the Premier League? Home form was the key. If I'm looking just simply on the pitch, I know it is a mess off the pitch. Ellis Short has simply washed his hands with the club, but on the pitch, last season, yeah, it went wrong under David Moyes. It wasn't working. Largely down to the fact is, from what Ellis Short has done within the club as well, there was a negative feel as soon as David Moyes has gone into the club. So anyway, but that's fine. You get on with things. You try and work as best you can. Simply wasn't working. I think this season, you look at that. You look at the calibre of players they've got. They simply shouldn't. It should not be that they're winning 2 games, 6 games in total. As you say, 2 home games. I mean, I played for Sunderland when I'd first gone up there when the place was rocking. There was still that feeling, I think, whenever teams come, it was like, keep them quiet for 15, 20 minutes and you'll get a chance because you'll get on the team's back. That was there. Said even when I moved on to Everton, that was simply there. But 2 home wins all season in the Championship, that is...
Yeah, I think that there's been too much play in terms of Ellis Short. He wants to sell the football club. He's an absolute owner, and a huge amount of criticism been levelled at it. It's been too much for me, because I think as a player and a manager, you've got to detach yourself away from that. And you've mentioned there, you look at the quality of players in that squad, that they're underachieving, that group of players. So you've got to ask yourself why different managers have gone in there and haven't been able to get a tune out of them. Now, why is that? Some decent managers as well. Chris Coleman, who I regard highly, he's kind of intimated, Kev, on a couple of occasions in terms of maybe the attitude of a core group of players in there, maybe the more experienced players, the players on those big wages, in terms of maybe their commitment to the club and around the dressing room. So there must be something there. Because if they're focused and they're at it and they're given the kind of commitment that you would expect, the individual quality and the experience they have in that squad, you wouldn't expect them to be there. So there's a problem there in the dressing room in terms of the number of the players, and he hasn't been able to resolve. He can't get them out because of the high wage problem, and I don't think it's necessarily a situation which may rectify itself next year. Maybe to a point they may be in a position to move a few of those players on. But I'd still be optimistic. If I was Chris Coleman, I'd be hanging around. I wouldn't be looking to get out, and I'd actually stick with him, Chris Coleman, because that football club, Kev, that's a huge football club. Honestly, God, I was only very sure. I wouldn't, you know. So I'm a big Sunderland man. I was there for 9 months, but I thoroughly enjoyed my time there. I enjoyed the club, the people, the supporters. It's massive, and people were criticising, why is Chris Coleman going to Sunderland? He's struggling in the Championship. But I couldn't, straight away, I thought, I can understand it. That's a massive football. If you can turn that club around and get it going, get a bit of momentum, get that mojo back around the club, the sky's the limit for that football club. So yeah, dark moments at the moment, but still for me potentially a bright future.
I think the problem being as well, Kenny, talking about moving people on, whether it be sky high wages, they're actually paying massive Championship wages as it stands. League One wages, it's just off the scale. So that's the thing.
And they don't seem to put in certain clauses. Rodwell is on 40 grand a week next season.
Well,
in League One, the average salary is about
but he was on 70 this season, hasn't he? He's been on 70 this season, so it's just crazy.